This will be rich.
I think it's a system now. Oh God, it's a system. Everything is a system, and systems work with or without God. So I think the institution of church is whack. I think how church is ran is whack. I think the religious system and structure is whack. I don't subscribe to it, even though I grew up in it. I benefited from it, but I learned that God is not the church. And once I realized, whoa, God ain't church. That for me, you know what I mean? I ain't from the streets. I'm from the church. So that was a huge thing as well.
It's in the Bible, though. It says you can't even find God in a man-made temple.
Why don't we read that, though? How often do you hear that sermon? No, you hear people, pastors make the people about the church. We got the church name, we church and the bumper sticker, the church. The church should be about the people. The church should be about the people, but the church makes the people about the church. So all churches now are a movement, but they're not about the people. They're not about serving and loving the people. But what do y'all look for when you go to a church? What do y'all look for? Like you said, everyone don't touch your soul, don't minister to your spirit.
It's not about what I look for, it's about what I feel.
Got it.
It's a feeling, you know what I mean? Like you just
I know what you mean.
Some people just speak to your soul. Like, you know, I think Sarah Jakes right now, man,
She's
at least for me,
she's talking to you. I love
like
it.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like,
So
even when I'm just
practical,
listening to her podcast, so I just think some people have an anointing on them for the moment that we are in. And just like her father had it and still has it, you know, I think she has it for the current moment that we're in.
Word.
And then another thing, so growing up in a church where, you know, I'm so used to that back in the day. Like, for instance, I don't want to go to a big church because the pastor don't know me. The pastor don't. I'm used to going to talk to the pastor after church, going to get that individual prayer, going to tell him what I'm struggling with and all that. As a teenager, I was going through a lot of things, you know what I mean? So I would be able to go and talk to my uncle. He is the bishop, like go and talk to him and stuff like that. But I've gone to churches where, you know, pastor don't even know you, and he's not even tripping off getting to know nobody. You know what I'm saying? He just come and he do his thing. They sing a whole album before he start the sermon.
Only one album?
Yes.
Tye Tribbett on the Breakfast Club talking about the church. Whoo, Lord, I got thoughts.
I could have ate Wendy.
I have a long and not storied history with the church. Been in church my whole life, so when I say this, it's coming from a place of love. Y'all don't want the church that y'all claim y'all want. Y'all don't want church to have a connection with God and to learn his Bible and to follow his work and his rules and things like that. No, you want a customized religious excuse to be a good person while being a bad person. That's what you want. But actual church is never going to give you that. So you try to create some bastardized version of church. And that's what we've done in large part. We've made church in the image of the shit that we wanted to add to it. And now we don't like it. No shit. You made a product that wasn't what its inventor intended. You put all these other cooks' recipes into the mix and you made this bullshit that ain't nowhere near what it was supposed to be. Y'all tout how y'all want church to be something of the Bible while ignoring the things of the Bible. That's what you do. You can't have it both ways. If you want to honor this institution, honor this book, then you got to honor what the book says. It say a lot of shit against the lifestyles a lot of you motherfuckers is leading. Yeah. All the fornication, all the adultery, all of the extramarital, non-marital affairs, babies out of wedlock, shit like that. That book that y'all want to hold up and tout and all of that, it says directly all that shit wrong.
I resemble that remark.
Hey, look, it is what it is. I ain't even saying the book right or wrong. I'm saying that's what the book says, that y'all want to tout, that y'all want to hold up high and act like you following in the path of and in the vein of, while you're not. You can't. If you want to be about that, then be about that. If you want to be about something different, then say that. But you can't claim that while doing this bastardized, non-sanctioned version of the thing.
You don't even believe in Jesus.
You don't gotta be a Christian. Nobody's forcing you to, in at least this country. Nobody's forcing you to be a Christian. You ain't got to be one if you don't want to be one. Make your own religion that has all of these principles that you hold dear, and leave Christianity alone to the Christians. Let them have that, and you have whatever version of a religion you want to make. But you can't have it both ways. The book tells you can't serve two gods. I maybe misquoting. I ain't been to church in a while. But it says that, I think, somewhere. You can't do that. You can't have false idols. It says that. You can't do those things. So you can't hold these things up in the face of that book, in the face of what you claim to believe in, the covenant that you claim to have made, and say, well, fuck all the other shit. I'm going to just deal with this one. I like this part of it. I don't want to deal with the rest of it. No, it comes as a whole. You can't separate the baby from the bathwater. You can't. Can't untangle it. It's messy. It's awkward. It's clunky. It's unforgiving. It doesn't allow a ton of wiggle room. It is very strict and ardent roads it wants you to travel down. It wants you to be away. But everybody that says they about it tend to skew away from it. The church has gotten so, and it's gonna sound wild. I'm gonna be soapboxy against the church, but the church is strayed away from what its intention was supposed to be. You were supposed to be, as the pastor of a church, the shepherd of the flock. Shepherds don't go home separate from where the flock is. You live where the flock at. You're there because you have to tend to them. You got pastors that live 30, 45 minutes away from the churches that they're supposed to preside over. How can you pastor a church that's supposed to be there for the community in which it exists, and you an hour away, 45 minutes away? That place is supposed to be a place of refuge for individuals to go to seek solace, information, knowledge, help, all of these things. But they can't get it because Sunday at 3:30, 4 o'clock, you putting a lock on the building and you ain't there until the next time you open up on a Wednesday for the Bible study night, or a Tuesday for this, or whatever. But it's not functioning as a place where a person can go seek refuge and seek solace from a person that's been called by God to help guide people. You see, you are in charge of the church because you have a calling. You're called to do a thing, and it's for the people. And that means in lieu of yourself, you serve these people, because that's the calling. That's the gig. You don't get to get the gig without having the duties of the gig. It's a tough job. I understand that. That's why it's supposed to be such a special covenant with God. That's why it's a calling. It's only supposed to be for those people who are asked to do it. He equipped those individuals with the capacity to handle those drains on the normal psyche. Not the other way around. It's not the church isn't there for the pastor's edification. It's for the pastor to help the people to edify God. But we switched that up and we made it our own way. We wanted to put everything that we wanted, that we knew was wrong, into the church. Hey, look, I like drinking. I do. I don't drink a lot of wine. I drink a lot of whiskey.
Right.
It'd be wild for me to sit up and be like, well, because I'm a whiskey drinker, church should be acceptable of motherfuckers who be drinking whiskey, and I should be able to drink. I should be a free, willing, and able whiskey drinker in the church. I should be able to go. I should be able to sit in the sanctuary and pull up like I pull up in the comfort of my own home every day because that's me. That's what it is that I do. That's my life I live.
And you find it hard keeping these alligators on the ground.
Yeah. Woo. Woo. But I would sound nuts saying some shit like that. But y'all want to come into church and do all of it and stand proud on all of the fucked up shit that's in the book that you claiming to believe you doing. You bringing babies in here that ain't got no. You bring your women in here and men in here who are having sex with each other without being married. They're bringing children into these churches without being married. And they're building on that. These are the foundational pieces. We're having black churches bring up politicians who mean us no good, like a Joe Biden. You'll sit them in a pulpit because it brings you a bit of notoriety and a check. We'll sit there in a black church and clap and scream and applaud of Fannie Willis recount her affair with the motherfucker and talk about how wrong it is of motherfuckers to bring that up. You can say that wherever you want to say it. You can't sit there in a pulpit and talk about how wrong it is for people to judge you about this man you was fucking that you weren't married to. How is that a thing proper for the pulpit? It makes no sense. But that is born out of everybody wanting to add their 2 cents into the church. Everybody wanting to add their own interpretation to some shit. It's telling you very, very boldly what the fuck it means, what the fuck it's saying. Understand it. Either you with it or you not. You can't be a half a motherfucking soldier in the army of the Lord. Either you riding or you not.
I'm a soldier in the army.
Oh no!
I'm a sanctified soldier in the army of the Lord.
I think y'all fake riding. Y'all want to play a part to get some shit, get some notoriety, get some fame, get some acceptance, get some coalescence with a like-minded group. Whatever the fuck it is, I don't care if you want to be on the auxiliary board, you want to be voted president for some other bullshit, you want to be the president of the ushers. Whatever the fuck it is. You can't bring your own shit to it. It's got to be that. You have been given a set of instructions in which to live by. Live by them. From the top down. But y'all ain't willing to do that. And y'all been letting motherfuckers skate that shit and purport as though they have been down for the cause when they have obviously been not. And then judge people that want to decry and want to call out these individuals who are false teaching and not leading you people the correct way. When people want to call it out, you want to call them crazy. You want to call them antiquated. You want to call them dinosaurs, bigoted, chauvinist, all kinds of other shit.
Everything but a real nigga.
Everything other than a person who was reading the words that they were given and just saying them. You want to call those people everything you would like to call God, but you don't want to.
Everything but a child of God.
But God told them, he wrote it down. It's written in the book that you hold dearly. It's sacred. So either the book's sacred or the book's not. Either it is or it ain't.
I just like to say fuck that.
And that's where I'm at with it. I don't know. Get your shit together, Tye. And I don't even know you at all, actually. But it's just in the stance of you saying these things. Like, you can't have it both ways. You can't put your own skew on the church. Church is the church. The institution of the church is not whack. It is what it's supposed to be. It's stringent. It's unyielding. Man, it's uncomfortable for motherfuckers who don't want to do what it is supposed to be, what it is they're supposed to be doing.
That they've been called on to do.
That's the point. That's the point. What they say, the path to wickedness is wide.
On all sides.
And when the righteousness is narrow and whatever, the right thing to do is more difficult. It doesn't necessarily feel as fun. You got to know that. You got to know that, man, Joe. The religion that I'm a part of has given me grace and forgiveness for certain actions. That doesn't mean that the actions have to be instituted as a part of the collective. It means I'm here in spite of. But y'all want to remove the in spite of and think that you entitled to. It's wild. It's wild. Wild.